Welcome to Common Man Cocktails. I'm your host, Derrick Schommer. Little vlog for your weekend pleasure. I had some Q&As I put out there on Facebook. If I get any new ones since this video is done, I'll put them into another one maybe next weekend. I want to give you guys a little bit of status update, what's going on, how things are going with me, answer some questions. So first off, I don't know if you guys noticed the views are doing pretty well recently. I think it has to do with how I'm crafting some of the content titles. We did a vacation to Russian last week, but I made sure to mention that it's an alternative to White Russian, so that way I could get more people going, ooh, a White Russian? Or search terms, it'll come up a little bit faster, and that's already got 1,000 views. All the need-to-know videos are going up. That's good. I'm mixing in some deconstruction videos because I know you guys love those. Those are going up. The blind tasting videos are always doing well. So on top of everybody coming back to work over the holiday break, the holiday being summertime here in the U.S., I think that's helping, and I'm hoping to continue to build that momentum. Subscriber counts are probably about this month, about 4 times what they typically are, so that's good. So, had a couple Q&As, wanted to handle, and we'll wrap up with a little bit about where I'm going to be next week. Q&A, I got one. This has been going on for a while that I totally forgot. Master David had posted a question asking what type of karate I did, if I'm still involved with karate, martial arts, stuff like that. The answer is yes. I'm probably more involved now than I was even 3, 4, 5 weeks ago. I do Kempo karate, and that's with an M or an N, depending on how you want to take it. I'm kind of an instructor. I've been an instructor in the past with a sensei title. Where I am now, you have to obtain the sensei title through having your own classes that you run. We had a couple of black belts recently quit with a very dramatic explosion, so I've been doing a lot more at the studio. I also run their website, and I do a lot of the PR stuff and whatnot, so I'm involved in that way as well. So there's different aspects of it that I do, in some of the photography, videotaping the kids for promotion, stuff like that. So I help some of the kids' classes up, and if you've been watching me on Snapchat, you see I've been grinding every day. I've been in there at 5 at night. I'm running courses until sometimes 9 or a little later in some cases. So I'm still involved. I'm trying to work on my 3rd rank right now. I'm the 2nd rank black belt, 2nd degree black belt. I'm working on the 3rd degree. So yes, I'm still involved. Blazing Akatosh, I can't even remember my own writing, asked a couple questions that I thought were pretty entertaining or interesting or worth mentioning here. Oh no, this wasn't even part of the Q&A. This is something that came up that I found when I was searching for questions just in my comments. He asked if I was doing this for a living, because most full-time YouTubers have 5,000 plus views per video. That's 100% true, and that's not really true. But it's a good indicator. If you have a lot of views, you have a lot of subscribers, you typically can be considered as a full-time person, or you probably are a full-time person, I guess. YouTube has definitely changed the roadmap of what people can do. I don't have that many views, true. But when you look at the bigger picture, there are videos that I have that generate 50, 200,000 views, and those kind of float the channel through some of the harder times when the views are lower. But I also have a lot of different activities that I do. I wrote them down because I do too many, I can't remember. So we have our Patreon account. So people are like, how can you have this many views and not have, or how do you make money? And the answer is that you might not necessarily be able to get huge paying sponsors. No, I can't necessarily garner a $25,000 sponsorship with the views I have. So how do I work around that? I have smaller sponsorships. I don't get that many sponsorships because I'm not out there hunting them, and I'm working on that problem. But this brings up a good point. If anybody out there is looking to make a little extra money, I'm totally willing to revenue share with somebody who has the talent, the go-get, the hustle, to hit up some brands and say, this is Common Man Cocktails. I think you should sponsor here, and get them to pay. And if they want to pay me, then I will pay you. I don't even care. We'll figure out a number. Maybe it's 50-50 or whatever it seems like it should be worth, and you get half, I get half. So, I could totally use people to help bring me the sponsors, but I don't want just fans that just want to be fans. I need people who have some talent to say, I'm going to make that call, either a cold call, an email, or whatever, and hunt down people that have quality products to say, hey, you need to be on this show, and I will supply you with the material you need to kind of pitch it to them. So if anybody wants to really do that, seriously do that. Don't just email me because you think it'd be fun. I don't need that. I need people who are serious about it. So using sponsorships does help, but Patreon helps a lot. That's probably, I'd say, from the YouTube channel perspective, 40% of everything that gets done is through our Patreon subscribers. Ad revenue is about the same as the Patreon subscribers. They kind of struggle it out. Then you have your sponsorships, you have your small sponsors. We have our ebooks. The free books actually generate more money than, because you could pay whatever you think it's worth, than the pay for ebooks. But either way, I don't care. I have a few banner ads that I run on my website that might make a couple pennies here and there. Some of the stuff is all about bartering. Like I could go take German classes whenever I feel like it because I'm on the board. And because I run their website, I can do that, and they don't charge me for taking classes. My dentist is paying me to build them a website. My karate studio, I'm paid to do that, and by teaching, I don't necessarily have to pay as much as some people do. So it's really using my time and talents to get other things bartered to me that I would have to pay for normally. But I also run a website. I have people that pay me to either monitor, manage, or design their websites. So that doesn't hurt either. The other thing people don't realize is that our Roku channel that we have broadcasts our show, and there's a lot of people that subscribe because there's not a lot of cocktail competition out there. So, we could get hundreds of thousands of views from the videos that you guys see on YouTube that might only have 2,000. That might have 40,000 out on Roku, and they're running ads against that as well, and they pay me separately from YouTube. In the end, though, no, I don't yet make enough money to qualify to be able to do this without spending my own savings. So I still dip into savings each month as the revenue ramp grows. But being able to dip into savings means that I'm not constantly pushing and rushing around trying to make money and making bad decisions about it. So, I try and maintain, I burn some of my own fuel in order to keep my head straight and be able to make strategic decisions. Elliot writes, what type of microphone do you use? Well, Elliot, that's why I'm standing here for this shoot. I use this right there. That is an Audio-Technica AT897. It's $249.99 on Amazon. It's a shotgun mic, so it means it's got a radial view, so it really distributes out here. I have a shotgun mic up here as well that's not necessarily as good, which is why the audio quality is a little bit different compared to what you normally hear. This mic can hear you digesting from across the room. This one, not so much, and it's on an SLR, so it's a little bit different. This one doesn't actually fit in the boot that we have here, so I have to put this little foam insert here to hold it. It used to be mounted over there on an angle, and that's why if you ever watch this, anytime I talk to Ian, sometimes I would get quieter because the mic is over here. So the idea of having it straight on eliminates a little bit of that, but it does create a little bit more noise, radial noise from the bar, from the fact that there's a fridge here, there's a fridge over there, there's a fridge over there, so you'll hear some noise, but that's the problem of working in a bar. If I hide all my refrigerators on another floor, then it takes forever to do a shoot. Best experiences making the show. I have a lot of fun with the hosts, and sometimes, like when I'm with Dan and Jalith, I completely forget. That's why some of the videos that occurred last week and will occur next week are a little bit longer, because I just lose track of time and we're just getting all crazy. Ian's a little bit more focused, stays on task. He's been doing it for a while, and it's kind of, not a job for him, but we know what we need to do. And for some reason, I have a little bit more focus, and I get a little bit more crazy when Dan and Jalith are here. But I think, I don't know, there's so many times that things that we've done have been really fun. Doing live audiences is kind of fun, but also chaotic. I think getting some of the responses, I think the feedback from users is the most fun, when people leave me really touching comments or ways we've changed people's lives, how we help people that have been in the hospital suffering from cancer, or had a family member pass away, or some other disaster that's happened, and have them be able to say, you know what, for the next 15 minutes I'm checking out, or maybe I'm going to go through a playlist and just watch him for like 4 hours to kind of get my mind straight. And because we keep a lot of the hard, running a YouTube channel is not easy. To do this as a full-time job and all the other crap I have to do, you can follow me on Snapchat if you want to see a glimpse into my life. It's Cocktail TV on Snapchat. There's just a lot, but on the show, I try and keep it positive, upbeat, and go. And we don't think about all the things that are happening in the world, and I think that gives people, it gives them a chance to just unwind. And when you're drinking cocktails, that's kind of what you do anyway, so I like to keep it in that mood, and that kind of excites me. My favorite absinthe right now, probably La Clandestine. Vauquerre is pretty good as well, but I'm not big into, I don't have a lot of apps to choose from, so my options and my experiences are limited. Robert Anthony asks, sorry Robert, you have two first names. He asks, hardest part of the transition to full-time, besides just generating money, I think taking it seriously as a business has been challenging, and allocating my time and understanding that I have to start working more on, not working in the business, but working on the business, if you will. Crafting the best thumbnails and getting the right type of content out there, and sometimes not doing what the best thing is I think would be fun, but doing the best thing for the channel, and trying to mix that up and have a good balance, but also not spend. I think the biggest challenge thus far is not that if I sit down and I edit for like 2 days to create content, then it's actually it's bad for me to do that, because I've spent so much time editing and not enough time coming up with ways to generate revenue. And I feel like I'm working because I'm editing, and I feel like I'm getting stuff done, but editing's not making me money. And those videos, they might make me $5 at most for a couple thousand views. So, you know, trying to adjust, of saying working, just spinning your wheels doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be making the money that way, and kind of figuring out other creative avenues to do that. Which brings me to the last piece. Next week I'm out of town. I will be at YouTube in San Bruno, California for a contributor summit. I'm one of their top contributors, and that doesn't mean I contribute video, but I contribute to their community, helping smaller channels grow, giving them advice and feedback on what they're doing, and being very active on their forums and stuff like that. So as part of that, they've elevated me to kind of like an advocate or a brand ambassador of Styles, and so they're giving me kind of an all-expense paid trip to me and a whole bunch of people from around the world. I think there's 4 maybe top contributors in the US alone, and I'm one of them. I don't know what number I am, but whatever. So we're all going to be there talking about what's coming, what they're doing, sharing information with us so we can help more of the community when they're working on their YouTube channels. So I'll be back Thursday, ready to record the live stream next Friday. And then you can also catch me if you are thinking of creating your own YouTube channel, you have one. There's a channel called Video Creators run by Tim Schmoyer. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of it, but I'm in part of their season 2 of their creator or their entrepreneur series. So that's 6 full-time YouTubers handling a topic each week on a live stream on Wednesday nights at 9:30 Eastern. Where we sit down, one of the creators asks the questions, and we all kind of give input on what we think they could do to kind of tackle the problem. And then we also take problems and questions from the live stream. And Tim has something like 200 or 300 live stream people compared to the ones I have, which are only about 50 in our live stream on Friday nights. So he's really cranking it. So it's kind of neat to be on there. I get to learn from people, and I am the smallest channel out there. There's some of the guys there have 500,000, 1 million subscribers. So out of the 6, I am the small peanuts. So it's kind of cool. I feel like I can learn a little bit more from them. Most people might be intimidated, but these are normal people just like myself that have had the same type of struggles. So pulling in, understanding what they're doing and how they get around some of the problems is helpful for me. And I'm still able to help them, especially considering I have some information about how YouTube functions, because I'm one of the top contributors, and I've seen a lot of stuff. So everybody kind of gives their own perspective to help each other, and then everybody watching gets to get that help for free. So it's kind of neat. That's it, my friends. I will see you guys upon my return on Thursday. I'll keep up on comments. All the videos for next week will go out at 10 in the morning. There will be no interruption to schedule. They're already ready to go. I've worked 2 times as hard this week to get everything done so I can take next week to be in California. That's it. We're teaching you how to drink.